Hey guys, it's Eric with the Miller Park Minute, where we're throwing strikes and getting likes, hitting dingers, and getting listeners back again. This is the opening day podcast. We are coming at you live on a Wednesday night, which we never do. But we are doing it today with the exception because tomorrow is opening day. This is a daily show. 5:30 a.m. Central Standard Time is our upload time. We are on Rumble. We are on YouTube. We are on Apple. We are on Google. We are on Spotify, Castbox, iHeartRadio, you name it, we are there. We do this show every day. One of the big things that I like to do is I talk about the news. I talk about what's going on Brew Crew. And then I try and go around the league. So we're going to do that tonight for the opening day. If you haven't already seen, I did a bunch of videos already today, season preview. We had Bart Winkler on the podcast. Just lots of good stuff all the way across the board. So feel free to jump in the conversation. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Today we are going to basically go down the line and kind of talk news, being that we have no scores and things like that to talk about. So, and if you aren't already, you can use the code Miller Park Minute at SeatGeek to save yourself $20 off your first purchase with SeatGeek. So if you're getting any tickets in the next few weeks, heck, all season long, you can use the code Miller Park Minute. We also have patreon.com/Miller Park Minute. If you want to go over and support the channel, we would appreciate that. Let's get into this today. Let's talk about the news. Let's talk about the Brewers going into opening day. If anybody hops on here, we'll gladly accept them and any kind of contributions you guys would like to add to the show tonight. Otherwise, we're going to proceed as the usual. So, obviously, big opening day matchup. Again, we are in Chicago. I don't know why they choose to do this, but we are in Chicago. And they built in that extra day for weather. I don't know why they choose to do it. Like, it's just a terrible idea. It's like they just do this at random and they put us in there. But we have Corbin Burnes on the mound versus Marcus Stroman. Our ace versus their ace. It's gonna be fun to see the Brewers finally taking action, taking the field in real meaningful baseball. Not quite World Baseball Classic meaningful, but still meaningful nonetheless. So that's huge. So here is the projected kind of what MLB has given us so far. This comes from Adam McCalvey and I don't know, the beat writer for the Cubs. I don't care who he is. Christian Yelich, Willie Adames, Jesse Winker, William Contreras, Rowdy Tellez, Luis Urias, Garrett Mitchell, Brian Anderson, and Bryce Turing is what they say we are starting. Nico Horner, Dansby Swanson, Ian Happ, Cody Bellinger, Trey Mancini, Edwin Royos, I don't know that one, Eric Hosmer, Patrick Wisdom, and Tucker Barnhart behind the dish. Seiya Suzuki is sidelined, so he's not going to be in. They did announce today that Adrian Hauser is going to be sidelined for a couple weeks. I'm going to predict a 8-0 victory right out of the gate. 8-0. I think Burnes is going to have some shutout, maybe no-hit innings. And I just think he's ready. I think he is going to, I mentioned in a previous video, go back to my predictions video to see what I said Corbin Burnes is going to do this year, but I think it's going to be crazy. The video will be up online later. I just wanted to finish this podcast and finish making content before I uploaded everything. So I really think we are going to kick the Cubs' butts tomorrow. Starting pitching is our strength. Even with our bullpen, I feel that we've got a better bullpen. They've got a lot of no-name guys. If you saw my Cubs preview, I talked about that. I still think the Cubs are a good team. I don't not think the Cubs are a good team. me and Bart Winkler earlier today. Winkler kind of questioned me on that. He's like, "What? Yeah, the Cubs seem to always get our number. I don't know why it is, but they do." So, I don't want to count them out, but I'm gonna in tomorrow's game count them out 8-0. Really, really good articles are going around the internet right now. There's a lot of because they had the workout today and they had the media content. There were some videos of Willie Adames and talking about his excitement for it. Corbin Burns, everybody, they went around the horn. So go check those out. I do not air video content. I've told you guys this before, but I don't air video content due to copyright violations and strikes. There's a one unknown for each team going into opening day. And I'm going to cover the Brewers one unknown, of course, because it's the Brewers and I always just go for just the Brewers content. So let's scroll down. Which version of Christian Yelich will we get? I'm leaning hard into we are going to get the good version of Christian Yelich. I talked a couple weeks back with Dominic Catronio, and he said he wants to see Marlins Christian Yelich. He doesn't expect 2018 Christian Yelich. And I agree with that. I mean, 2018 Christian Yelich was high expectation, MVP level. If we could even get a Christian Yelich from the Marlins, that'd be great. So the injury report list, I already mentioned Hauser is on the injured list, but we also have Tyrone Taylor, Aaron Ashby, Adrian Hauser, and Justin Wilson. Guys will be back in a couple weeks. They'll just strengthen what we've already got. Keston Hura ended up staying with the club, and he is in AAA. Of course, we signed Luke Voigt. We already talked about that. Let's talk about the news around what everybody else is kind of talking about around opening day. Brewers Eve Bash happened tonight. Raleigh Fingers was out there. I think I saw Gantner. Dillard was there. I mean, everybody was there. Kind of opening the barrel yard, which looks really cool. If you look at the pictures, it looks really awesome to see. I saw quite a few people went to that tonight. I did not. Here is the one that I really wanted to hone in on, and Todd Rosiak wrote this today. They're talking about the Brewers' payroll has been released. The payroll numbers are out. Just over 33 million committed to their starting rotation, and that's an absolute bargain. Well, of course, that's an absolute bargain because we aren't paying the contract and the full value for guys like Corbin Burns, Freddie Peralta, and Brandon Woodruff yet. They don't see their full value, and that's fine. I mean, we also have guys like Bryce Turing just get called up, and we also have Garrett Mitchell, who's still in the minimum deal. Christian Yelich accounts for 20% of that payroll at $26 million, and he's still kind of we're still. The jury's still out on whether he's the value that he was. He's no Ryan Braun. He is not Ryan Braun. We kind of rank in the middle for Central Division, it looks like. As far as payrolls go, we're not tops, we're not bottom. We're kind of mid-pack all the way around, though, with payroll. So the payroll thing, and the payroll is more or less we spend money, but we don't spend the minimum. We're not the Reds or the Pirates where they're just barely getting by. We're right in the mid pack. I think number 14, 15, somewhere in that range. At the last projection I looked at. Now that was last year's payroll, but the one-time Dodgers pitching prospect makes the 2023 opening day rosters for the Brewers. And we know that is none other than Gus Varland. Gus Varland had a nice touching moment on that video the other night. It was really exciting to see these young guys in the videos and the reaction. I'm glad MLB implemented that. I first saw the first one I saw was Velope, the top prospect for the New York Yankees. Shortstop, going to be the next big thing. That was really awesome. Then otherwise, news around the league is really the next best thing up for us. We are going to talk about the St. Louis Cardinals before this episode is over. We're going to give a season preview of them. They're our top competition in the divisions, so we want to talk about them. I'm going to make a brief mention of my other videos that we just put out. We just put out the Pitching Lab video. So if you haven't seen the Pitching Lab video, go check the Pitching Lab video out. We talk about the inside the Pitching Lab. Really great episode, great information. Butcher did a poetry episode last night, and let me tell you guys, when I first got the inclination, I'm going to say this directly to you, directly to the Butcher, because I know he'll watch this episode. I wasn't a fan of putting a poetry episode on the channel, but it's the Butcher. I like him. He does great work, and I know that he ain't going to do me wrong. He's a great brand representative. There's actually a playlist now. So if you guys get a chance, watch all the Butcher's episodes. It's on a playlist. The special guests are now on a playlist on the channel. But the cool part about this is, like, there's a lot of guys around the league and a lot of guys that have been around the game that put out poetry. And I actually Googled it after watching his episode because I didn't really realize how much baseball poetry existed. There's a good amount. And then Butcher finishes off with a masterpiece. If you watch nothing else, listen to none other poetry, listen to the Butcher's poem at the end of that episode. That's my endorsement on the Butcher's episode. So, guys, thank you for following along, supporting both me and the Butcher and his content. You can now see his full playlist on the YouTube channel under Butcher's Fresh Cuts. Okay, so CBS Sports put out their 2023 predictions, standings, playoffs, fields. Everybody's putting out stuff. So, Talking Baseball did prop bets today. Really good stuff. I don't do a lot of gambling, so to me, it's like, oh, okay, cool, but I'm not gonna bet. So this comes across the board. Looks like. So it's broken down by writers. So I'm not going to read all the writers, but I'm just going to say Yankees get 3, Blue Jays get 3 for first place, 3 for second place, 3 for first, 3 and 3. Basically, they flip-flop there. The rest down the line is Tampa Bay Rays get 3 third place. Boston gets 2 third place. Orioles get 3 third place and the fourth place, and the Rays get 4 fourth place. Most team 4 Boston Red Sox 5th place and 2 Orioles 5th place. Orioles got a team though. Let me tell you, that team's got some surprising talent on it. So American League Central, it looks like Twins get 3, Guardians get 3. Same within second place, Twins get 3, Guardians get 3. Across the board, White Sox 3rd place, unanimous. In 4th place, the Tigers only get 1 of the 6 votes. In 5th place, the Royals only get 1 of these 6 votes. The American League West, across the board, unanimous Astros. A lot of people are picking the Astros to go to the World Series. I don't know about that. Second place is 3 and 3 tie between the Angels and Mariners. 3rd place, Mariners get 3 votes. Rangers get a vote, and Angels get 2 votes. Outside of 1 vote for the Angels, 4th place is the Rangers. And, of course, the A's are dead last unanimously. This one gets interesting, too. National League East. Mets get 4 votes. The Atlanta Braves get 2 votes. Second place, they get 3 votes for the Braves, 1 vote for the Mets, 2 votes for the Phillies. Third place, 4 votes for the Phillies, 1 Braves, 1 Mets. Marlins, resounding 4th place. Nats, resounding 5th place. Here's the one we care about. Central, we got 5 cards, 1 Brewers. We get, what? People are saying the Cubs are going to be in second. 2 Cubs votes, 3 Brewers votes, 1 Cardinals vote. Third, Cubs get 4. We get 2. Pittsburgh, unanimous. Nope. Pittsburgh gets 5 votes for 4th and 1 for the Reds. The Reds get 5 and 1 again for last place. Pods, unanimous, 1st place. Dodgers, unanimous, 2nd place. 4 votes for the Diamondbacks in 3rd. 1 Giants. And the flip side for 4th. Rockies, unanimous, 5th place. So, champions, let's go there. Looks like the big bet is on the Astros. And a couple votes for the Mets and the Padres. Padres and Astros are really, really taking the majority of the votes. A couple Braves in there, Phillies as well. So, that being said, guys, that is the standings according to CBS Sports Writers. Big thing tonight, and I wanted to cover this in brief just because this is kind of important to the game of baseball overall. Basically, the MLB are working out a CBA for minor league baseball, basically allowing them more pay. Looks like it's a 5-year agreement. Looks like minimum pays, more guaranteed pay. Basically makes them not struggle to be minor leaguers. And I'm sure more will come out in this in the coming weeks, but that's a great thing that they're going to have a CBA and these guys are going to get paid to play ball. And that's across the board. I think that's probably the best piece of all around baseball news. I mean, we're going to have predictions everywhere. We already talked about the top 10 pitching rotation. Budweiser was releasing 2023 limited edition MLB team cans. We've seen this before with football and other sports. So, Padres Stadium is named the best MLB ballpark. Let's see where we rank on this list. If it gives the whole list. No, it doesn't give the whole list. It just says Padres are top. Never mind. Sports Illustrated. Thanks. I think really the story for the around the league right now is the Mets and Padres. And I heard this on a podcast today. Maybe David Sampson. I don't know. But the story is if the Mets and Padres, that's the biggest team that everybody's rooting against right now because are the biggest 2 teams because they spent the most money. And Major League Baseball owners do not want them to be successful for what they've spent. So, and I think personally, I'd like to see both of them be successful because it shows smaller teams making money. And not that the New York Mets are a small team, but all right, we're going to go into just baseballs predicting the St. Louis Cardinals. We already talked a lot about the Cardinals. Projected starting lineup: Tommy Edman, Tyler O'Neill, Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado, Wilson Contreras, Lars Nootbaar, Japan star Lars Nootbaar, Jordan Walker, Brendan Donovan, and Dylan Carlson. The big knock right now, the big knock against the Cardinals is their rotation is led by none other than 41-year-old Adam Wainwright. Now, this is the other time of the year where I can actually now rip on Adam Wainwright. Adam Wainwright is far beyond the average age. He's still pitching good. I mean, no knock to him that way, but health is going to be a big concern for him this year. So Waino, Miles Michaelis, Jordan Montgomery, Jack Flaherty, and Steven Matz. The team itself is actually projected to be better than us in some scenarios, like I just read. They're projected to be worse in certain scenarios. So it just depends on what projection you read, where you read. The magazine, the Lens magazine that I reference a lot, is saying we are going to be second place to them. So Ryan Helsley, who pitched for Team USA in the WBC, Giovanni Gallegos, Andre Pallant, Jordan Hicks, Genesis Cabrera, Chris Stanton, Drew Verhagen, Jake Woodford, Viking Rodriguez, and Zach Thomas are their relievers. So those are the names you need to know out of their bullpen. The key with them is where they're going to fall in wins, how we're going to battle it out with them in the long haul. When you've got a starting lineup that's got two potential MVPs in it, you're dangerous. You're just dangerous across the board. I mean, they're always going to be a dangerous team, and you got to watch how you pitch to those guys. I think it goes without saying that's so just to give you an example, here's some stats from the WBC. Goldschmidt went 2 for 5, 4 RBIs, 2 runs, with a walk. Arenado went 2 for 3, with a triple, an RBI, and 2 runs. Waino went 4 innings, 5 hits allowed, 1 earned run, 1 strikeout. Michaelis went 4 innings, 6 hits, and 1 earned run, 3 Ks. And that was against for Team USA in what was a really big thing. Jordan Walker is a top prospect. He could really help. He is 20 years old, and he's going to contribute at the big league level. Their other prospects are Alec Burleson, Matthew Liberatore, and even Herrera. Just a lot of coming across the board for the guys from St. Louis. And let's go to Battery Power and see what the Battery Power's got to say about them. Because Battery Power gives us a little bit of everything. Okay, so the big offseason moves were signing Adam Wainwright to a 1-year deal, Guillermo Zuniga to a 1-year deal, and then, of course, they got the 5-year deal with Wilson Contreras, selected pitcher Wilking Rodriguez from the Yankees in Rule 5 draft, claimed Anthony Mizzuro off waivers from the Royals. We already talked about the rotation, their lineup. Their biggest strength is the bats. You've got Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado, and Wilson Contreras. See, I'm flipping it on the other side this time around. I figured I would do that. Biggest weakness, despite having Miles Michaelis coming off fine to strong season, the rotation seems biggest weakness. We talked about that. With Waino, Jack Flaherty's fallen off a little bit. Steven Matz has struggled and isn't been very healthy. So let's grab the old guide here real quick, and we'll just take a look at what they got to say about the Cardinals. Cardinals. Guys, we're trying to put out the best content. I hope you know that every day we come out here, we do what we can for you. We give you everything we've got, and we like to talk baseball in every level. So if you ever want to join in on one of these episodes, if you want to be a special guest, feel free to reach out to me. I am available on Twitter at Miller Minute. You can also join the Facebook group, the Miller Park Minute and the Milwaukee Brewers. I, for whatever reason, missed the Cardinals page in this book. Cards. Basically, the main stronghold of the Cubs, or of the Cards, is they're projected to be the top. They're with two MVPs in the lineup, two guys that have done it and continue to do it. Goldschmidt's continue to do it with age. It really speaks volumes for what they have and what they've signed. The Cardinals managed to get these guys and really hang on to them. And even like a Wilson Contreras ad, I think that was a huge ad for them. So, yep, projected Central Division winner. Their payroll comes in at $156 million. My big thing that I wanted to check out here was what they're projecting for wins. So, it looks like Jack Flaherty's coming in at 8-7, Ryan Helsley 2-5 with 27 saves, Steven Matz 6-5, Miles Michaelis 12-10. Jordan Montgomery 12-7, and Adam Wainwright 12-9. So they're predicting big win totals for the big guys. Obviously, this is the flip side of what we already talked about with the Cubs, Pirates, and Reds. Big numbers here to look forward on. 32 home runs for Paul Goldschmidt and who follows him, but Nolan Arenado at 29. A little higher batting averages on this projected sheet. Brandon Donovan projected at 270, Nolan Arenado at 264, 284 for Goldschmidt. He just keeps getting better with age. That's what it comes down to. He just keeps getting better with age. So, that being said, I told you where I think they'd fall. I actually kicked this information all to the season preview episode, which is going live tomorrow at about 11 a.m. So if you're listening to this podcast right now, you won't see that. I didn't put that content out yet because, quite frankly, I didn't want to bombard the channel with videos. I appreciate each and every one of you who come and watch this content and listen. Even if you're listening to my content, I really appreciate you guys. I wouldn't be able to do what I do without the followers that I have. So, guys, it's baseball season. We are going to get in the thick of it. We're going to put out some content. Go over to brewerfanatic.com. Join the community over there. Lots of good conversations as I sit here on opening day eve. It's an exciting night. We have 13 hours and 38 minutes left. So there's an episode with Bart Winkler, opening day with Bart Wink Thinks opening day. That's up. We talk opening day, the roster moves, everything like that. Butcher's Poetry episode, like I mentioned. The season preview episode that I did with 23 things that I predict about the 2023 Milwaukee Brewers. Nothing to do with sausages. So if you want that, go to Adam McCalvy's article. Otherwise, that's all I got, guys. I hope you enjoy the content. There's a lot of it. There's going to be a lot more come home opener in Milwaukee. So this is Eric Agnew signing out of the Miller Park Minute tonight. Let's go Brewers. Let's beat the Cubs. Like I said, 8-0. Couple home runs. Corbin Burns goes a little shutty, maybe even a little no-hitty. Oh, God. What would it be to start a no-hitter on opening day? That'd be amazing. Just amazing. All right, guys. You guys have a great rest of your night. Thank you for watching the Miller Park Minute. And go Brewers.
Thank you for watching the Miller Park Minute. Go Brewers.